Welcome you all. Till now, we have already studied about the classification of the sedimentary rocks, the siliciclastic sedimentary rocks, mud rocks, and the sandstones. Now we will deal with conglomerate and its classification. So, the conglomerate are the sedimentary rocks that contain a substantial fraction of gravel size that is more than 2 mm, that is 2 millimeter of the particle size. Conglomerates may contain gravel-sized pieces of the individual minerals such as quartz. However, most of the gravel-sized framework grains are rock fragments. Generally, we use two terms, that is the conglomerates and breccia. The conglomerates are formed in an environment of high energy environments. Some are formed as gravel beds in rapidly flowing river or in alluvial fans. The difference between conglomerate and breccia is that the rocks of the conglomerate generally have rounded clast, but in breccia we obtain a much angular clast. Thus, if the particles are particularly angular, the rock is said to be breccia or sedimentary breccia. That is, we also find the igneous or the fault breccia, so we use the term sedimentary breccia. These are generally formed in submarine debris flows, avalanches, mud flows or mass flows, and thus this is the basic difference between conglomerate and breccia. Now we will see the classification of the conglomerate. Firstly, the conglomerate types of rocks are classified into two types, that is the extraformational and the intraformational rocks. The extraformational conglomerate are composed of clasts of sediments that are derived from outside the depositional basin. And if the clasts of the sediments are formed within the depositional basin, we term it as intraformational conglomerate. So here our main focus will be on the extraformational conglomerate. These extraformational conglomerates are further classified into two types, the orthoconglomerate and paraconglomerate. We will study about these types in later part. The orthoconglomerate are further classified as oligomict and petromict, and then the oligomict orthoconglomerate and petromict orthoconglomerate. The paraconglomerate are classified as laminated matrix or unlaminated matrix. The laminated matrix include the laminated conglomeratic mud rocks, and the unlaminated generally includes the tillite or the tellioid, what we call as the data formed under debris flow and the grain flows. So, what is orthoconglomerate and paraconglomerates? The orthoconglomerates are matrix poor. In such rocks, the clast may remain in contact and devoid of matrix also, and paraconglomerate are matrix rich. Thus, this is a classification based on the proportion of the matrix. So, if it is matrix poor, we called it as orthoconglomerate, and if it is matrix rich, we called it as paraconglomerate. Then it is further classified as oligomict and petromict. The oligomict conglomerate are stable conglomerate composed mainly of the single class types. It has more than 90% of the framework clast, consists of the fragments of only a few variable of resistant rocks and minerals as metaquartzite, veen quartz and cherts. While the petromict class are of many different compositions of metastable and unstable rocks. These are the more abundant in it, and these generally are the basalt, slate, or limestone rock fragments. So the oligomict are generally composed of a single or many or just a few varieties of the resistant rocks, while the petromic consists of many different composition. So this is the general type of the orthoconglomerate. The next one is the paraconglomerate. This paraconglomerate is further subdivided as the laminated matrix and the unlaminated matrix, as we have already seen here. The paraconglomerates containing a matrix of delicatively laminated mud rocks in which coarser framework grains float is called as the laminated pebbly mud rock. The paraconglomerates in which matrix is disorganized and non-laminated are either telluride. These are generally formed in the glacial environment, that is they have a glacial origin, or the telluride that are generally deposited by mass movement, that is generally by the debris flow or the grain flow. Thus this is the whole summary of the conglomerate. So we have completed the siliciclastic sedimentary rocks. Stay tuned for the next part. Thank you.